Alright. Welcome to Sideboardmtg. My name's Eric, and it's Sunday, Subscriber Sunday. We haven't had a Subscriber Sunday in the past couple weeks due to my move and such, but we're here tonight, and we're going to play some Magic. We've got three cool decks for you guys. This first one's going to be a Tezzeret deck, then we got a Simic Ascendancy deck, and then following that up is going to be a Rakdos Midrange. So, three pretty interesting decks here. Looks like we've already got people showing up in chat. Thank you everyone for coming out on Sunday here. Remember, if you want to get your deck played on our Subscriber Sunday, the way to do that is going to be to jump over to the Sideboardmtg subreddit. Doesn't cost anything. Nobody's getting paid for it. It's just a place that you can post your decks and get some feedback on those decks. A lot of times the people over there are very helpful in giving feedback on decks. So if you're brewing in War of the Spark, throw your deck over there, get some feedback on it, keep it updated, and then if it gets enough votes, we'll actually play it here on Subscriber Sunday. That's how it works. So check it out if you're new to the channel, and if you're new, go ahead and do the rest of those things like, subscribe, you know, the YouTube stuff. Anyway, what's up, Dragon Lord? The Wall, Tier 1 Jank, how you doing? He didn't hear that. He said be right back. Jizza, what's up, sir? I've got Castlevania coming up for you here in just a moment. We'll play that once we get started. James Carr, how you doing, good sir? Who else we got here? I know we got some more. Boros Boons. Boros, good to see you, man. Good to see you. You know, in that roundabout way of speaking, right? Like, you know, whatever. Good for you to see me. Yeah? All right. Anyway, let's start with Jizza's artifact deck, right? All right, so let's jump over so we can actually look at this. Yes, it's a Tezzeret deck, right? It's a Tezzeret deck, so creatures and planeswalkers have affinity for artifacts. The more artifacts we have, the less they're going to cost. If we have Ugin out, colorless spells are going to cost 2 less to cast, so we're looking at most of the things we have eventually just being free to cast one way or another. Gleaming Barrier, this is a creature, so it's going to benefit from Tezzeret or Ugin. Same thing for Voltaic Servant. If we've got 2 artifacts out, this thing's free. If we have Ugin out, these are free. Treasure Map's also free with Ugin, not necessarily free with Tezzeret. But Treasure Map's also one of those ways that we're going to get additional artifacts on the battlefield for Tezzeret's first ability. Let's read that really quick so we can kind of go over it as we're looking at some of these other cards. His +2 ability says that Tezzeret, Master of the Bridge, deals X damage to each opponent, where X is the number of artifacts you control. You gain X life. So the more artifacts we have, like activating that treasure map, making those treasures, that's really going to help. Same thing goes with Karn. Karn's constructs not only are artifacts themselves, but get a big benefit from having more artifacts on the battlefield. That can also go along with Sai. Every time we cast an artifact, we're going to make another artifact. And then as long as we have our Metalcraft, we can be using, you know, little Tezzeret, if you will. His 0 ability to draw multiple cards per turn, and that's going to be great. If we don't have the artifacts we need, we can always just +1 him to make an artifact. So that's kind of the idea here. We want to go really wide with artifacts, use Tezzeret's first ability, or who knows, maybe make so many Mishra's self-replicators that we just attack our opponent outright. What is going on with that? Whoa, I am so sorry about the music. Wow. Oh, is that because it's maximized? Look at that. I maximize it in the background and that's what happens. Wow, tell me it wasn't like that up here. Were we doing... We were, weren't we? Yep. Oh, man. What great content I'm providing. Anyway, that's the Tezzeret deck. We're going to jump into it, give it a little bit of gameplay, and kind of go from there. So let's jump back over here. We'll jump to some gameplay. Talk to Rocker and the rest of the guys that are showing up here. Great Gruel Super Friends, here you come. What do you guys think about that? Just Guy Super Friends. Anybody watch Syracuse today? Hopefully some people watch Syracuse. It's Man, that Just Guy Super Friends deck looks like it's kind of the real deal. I mean, swinging in with all of your planeswalkers, all of a sudden turning those into the lethal death dealer there. That's pretty cool. Some Sarkin technology. All right, so we don't have a sideboard with this, so I mean it just is what it is. Can we keep this? I mean, we've got lands. We've got a little bit of defense. Sure, right? We just need to get to turn 5. Right? Just turn 5. That's all. That's all. Show preview. Let's turn that off. Alright. So we'll play our land past the turn. This deck is super slow and janky. Fun when it works. Well, hopefully we can make it work, Jizz. Just Got Super Friends also inspired a Gruul Super Friends deck from you. Awesome. Well, like, tell me you're going to post that Gruul Super Friends so we can see that madness, right? You know, as much as I would like to wait and hold this for like a turn 4 after Psy, and that might actually be the right play, I think I'm just going to go ahead and throw it down now. In case he's got like a Zultai Goblin or something, we can stop a little damage. I don't know exactly what I would be trying to, dodge on turn 2, but we'll see. Looks like Jun. I would like to see some more lands. Well, I mean, I will go ahead and get Psy down. I mean, Psy dodges like lightning strikes and things of that nature, so the 1/4 body's no joke. Spend the mana, you think it was right? Yeah. You wouldn't mind trying out Deb's Mardu Friends? Well, I'm going to be doing that this week. I'm going to be going back and... Ooh, look, he wasn't even able to put haste on it. Wasn't even able to put haste. So good. Alright, well, I mean, this is kind of what we're looking for here. We wanted to draw a land, and not only are we going to make an artifact off of Psy, but Skittering Surveyor is going to help us get our 4th land. And that helps. Absolutely use it. I'll take the Swamp. I mean, I've got 3 blue sources. We'll take the Swamp. And then I will also sacrifice the Gleaming Barrier if he swings in. This will give us another treasure. And then if we draw a land off the top, we can actually draw 2 more cards off Tezzeret. Otherwise, we're probably making Thopters. I don't know. I mean, we can technically afford to let Tezzeret die. Oh no, the shock! Oh, the opponent. The opponent is trying to keep me off of things. Dreadhorde Butcher. Okay, so that's a Voltaic Servant. Let's just do it. Let's do it. Let's just play Tezzeret and dig for a land, right? Yeah, we'll dig for a land. Alright, well, it's kind of a land. Well, we have another Tezzeret, so how much of a hit do we think? Did someone say treasure? How much of a hit? Like, I mean, we could just let him take a ton. I guess we need to try to stop this thing, right? At Tezzeret. You know, I'll actually just block. We can draw quite a few cards next turn. We do still need a few lands, but we're not just out of it yet. Rekindling Phoenix. Okay, well at least that doesn't have trample. Okay, so if we Voltaic Servant. Oh no, I did it wrong. I was supposed to play this Skitter. Yep, I messed up. Now we gotta pray that Tezzeret can dig me out of this. I kind of wanted to get that down anyway, so maybe it's not that horrible. Alright, so we'll draw 2 cards. Hopefully we'll get a land. We did get a land. I'm going to go ahead and scry. I don't want a Mishra's Self-Replicator. We will just pass the turn. And we can untap our treasure map. That would be sweet, right? Map and draw 2 with Tez. Right. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have blocked and just let Tez go to 1. I mean, considering I'm kind of willing to let him die here anyway. Warrior spells. I didn't realize this was a warrior. No! Chain Whirler, no! That is not cool. And then the lightning strike on top of it. Oh man. The brutality. No, he got our scythe. Now what will we do? I think I still try to block here. I mean, he can go ahead and finish it or finish Tezzeret. He is going to finish Tezzeret. That's okay. Alright, well, we hit a land. So, Tezzeret, Master at the Bridge. We could gain a little life. Ugin doesn't really let us do much here. I mean, I guess we go for the life gain. And then make our opponent, like, hit Tezzeret, I guess. I mean, that's kind of the only thing I can think of here. Yeah, we had a chance before Chain Whirler. Chain Whirler definitely changed some things. Definitely changed some things. I'm not going to say it's just completely over, though. There's a Chandra. It's pretty close to over. I mean, that may not be completely over, but it's pretty close. Tezzeret, Tezzeret. Everything at Tezzeret. Well, I guess he bought us some time? Alright, so we can Ugin, kill something, surveying Skitter. We could Tezzeret and surveying Skitter. Hit him for 3. Gain 3. Ugin can destroy Gruul Spellbreaker. Ugin Plus goes to 5. We have 2 blockers. Oh, man. It's just not good. It's not good, guys. We can activate treasure map a few times if we can get... Let's go for Tezzeret. Mishra, I'm going to put that on the bottom. I'm going to create a Thopter. Yeah, and then we'll pass the turn. Yeah, I think the Chain Whirler pretty much dealt us the lethal blow there. Watery Grave, do we want that? We'll put that on the bottom too. If we had 6 artifacts, we can Big Tez and Ugin same turn. That's... I'm trying to get there. I am trying to get there. So we're actually to the point right now where we can Big Tez and Ugin in the same turn. At Tezzeret, at Tezzeret, at Tezzeret, at Tezzeret. I will block here. Tezzeret takes everything else. He shoots down Thopter. Yeah, I should have known the Thopter got shot down, but kind of had to be done. Alright, so let's go for Tezzeret here. We'll go for Ugin. Make a colorless dude. Play this. We will go get a land. I probably should have actually played that and got a land before I made a colorless dude. Return an artifact card from our graveyard to our hand. Do we want to do that? We could get another Surveyor. Skittering Surveyor. I could get a Surveyor or a Gleaming Barrier. I think I'll take the Gleaming Barrier. I mean, we can play that for free here. I'm still going to draw a card. Treasure Map, absolutely. We'll play that for free. I'm going to activate Treasure Map. Karn will definitely put that on top. And pass the turn, untap Treasure Map. Ooh. It's not like we're completely out of this, but it's close. Alright, so at Ugin, at Ugin, at Ugin. Alright, so let's move to blocks. We're going to go block here, block here, and we can't block here. I mean, Ugin's going to take a hit. Ugin is going to take a hit. He goes to 1. I hope he doesn't have a Chain Whirler. Don't have a Chain Whirler. We do need to do something about Chandra, though. She's getting pretty close to ultimate. You ain't having none of that, huh? Well, welcome to the party. Sacrifice an artifact. I mean, a planeswalker. I guess I'm getting rid of Ugin. We know it's We know it's Karn, but I'm going to leave it up there anyway, or I'm going to scry anyway. We'll go ahead and draw the Karn. Karn's free, so we'll just play it. So if we +1 Karn, or do we make a dude? I think I make a dude. Make a construct, right? It's a 5/5. It's a dude. It can do stuff. We'll activate treasure map. I don't want that. That'll flip treasure map. Now we got an 8/8, right? 8/8s do things. 8/8s do stuff, man. That's things. We'll hit the opponent for 8 off of Tezzeret. I am going to draw another card here. Mobilized District. Speaking of Mobilized District, we'll activate. And we're going to go at him. At Chandra. At Chandra? I mean, I know Chandra is going to be able to ping a few things here, but I had to keep it off the ultimate, and I'm worried that he had more like a removal for one of these. And if he had removal for one, then Chandra would be able to ultimate next turn. I'm not for sure we could survive that. This deck has fought back really, really well. Alright, well, we'll do some untapping so we keep our blockers. Man, I wish I would untap these lands. That'd be great, wouldn't it? Might submit your Mardu hero list for next week. Made a bunch of improvements. Do you think you got a lot of help from War of the Spark, or is it like just a variant of the older deck? Yeah, Chain Whirler stole our gas, but we're not just out of it. Look at that! Our opponent is going to scoop it up. Scooping it up. Wow. Next card was Sky Scanner. We didn't have anything coming for a moment. But if the opponent swung at us, we were in a position to be able to use our mobilized districts to crush our opponent. So, just a cool deck, man. Cool deck. I'm gonna leave it at that. I think that actually showcased the deck quite well. Our opponent did scoop up there. We don't have a sideboard for games 2 and 3 anyway. If you wanted to make one, I would recommend some cards like Negate, or we have black, so some cast downs would be definitely good. If you wanted to run the new Karn, you could throw a couple artifacts in there. So there's a lot of ways you could go with the sideboard. I would have to play the main board a little bit more to see what the deck is needing and what really counters this deck in order to pick the proper cards for the sideboard. But all in all, I'm really happy that we ended up coming back on that one. That was pretty sweet. If you don't mind me saying there, Jizz, that was pretty sweet. All right. You say though, Mayhem Devil is an underrated boss. Mayhem Devil. Is that the one whenever you sack something, like you get to deal damage or like ping things, and then I guess you're just using like Bantu or something and just sacking a whole bunch of stuff? Yeah, it was a sweet deck, just man. I actually love artifact decks, so you guys may see all this green-black Citadel stuff here, right? Bolus's Citadel. Like this deck. Oh my goodness, I've been having so much fun with this deck. I'm going to do a deck tech on it, but you guys will get a chance to see it. So, alright. Next here, we've got some Simic Ascendancy. Let's get our preview panel back up. we'll jump back over here. Those awesome card backs, right? All right, so this is Simic Ascendancy deck. We can pay 3 mana, Simic in 1 to put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. And whenever 1 or more +1/+1 counters are put on a creature you control, put that many grow counters on Simic Ascendancy. At the beginning of your upkeep, if Simic Ascendancy has 20 or more growth counters on it, you win the game. So alternate win con here, right? Now, that's not the only win con. The deck is chock full of creatures that we can beat people down with. Most people know that the Wild Growth Walker, Merfolk Branch Walker, J-Light Ranger package is normally enough to win beat down in a lot of decks. When you start pairing that up with cards like Hydroid Crossus or Biogenic Ooze, these are some really heavy-hitting powerhouses. As far as the 2-drop slot goes, I mean, we've got Growth Chamber Guardian as a play set so that we can, keep our hand full of creatures and we can keep putting creatures onto the battlefield. We've got Incubation Druid for, a ton of mana, which we can dump into those Hydroid Crassus or even into Ugin's Conjurant. So, I mean, we've got a lot of options here. We've also got Evolution Sage. Now, this is one that I was actually unaware of. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you proliferate. So this is proliferate with landfall. That seems pretty powerful. I kind of like the idea of this. I also want to talk about Galloping Lizrog real quick. Trample, and whenever it enters the battlefield, you may remove any number of 1/1 counters from among creatures you control. If you do, you put twice that number of counters, 1/1 counters on Galloping Lizrog. A late game Galloping Lizrog can all of a sudden just become this huge, ridiculously huge monster. I do want to say that, that initially creates some fear for me, that if I rip all my +1/+1 counters off and just slap those onto the Lizrog, does someone just cast down my Lizrog and then I'm just dead? Or we put a whole bunch of counters on Lizrog, as many as we can, get him as high as we can, and then use a flipped Hadana's Climb to just end the game on the spot. Give it flying. It's already got trample. So, again, a lot of things we can do with this deck. As far as counters go, though, and we can proliferate, we also got Blast Zone over here in the mana base. So, there's a lot of things that we can do with proliferate in the deck. And this is probably the closest I've come to actually playing a proliferate or +1/+1 counters matter deck. So this will be a lot of fun. We've also got a pretty interesting sideboard here. We've got Vivian's Arcbow. I haven't got a chance to play with this card yet, but from reading it, man, I've just been really excited about the Vivian's Arcbow. It's just a really cool card. You can pay X and tap it and discard a card and look at the top X cards of your library, and you may put a creature card with converting mana cost X or less from among them on the battlefield. So in this particular deck, if we were pay 5 and throw a land that we pulled late game, we go 5 deep into our deck and we get a 5-drop or less, throw it straight onto the battlefield. Now, I don't know if I'm really going to like that with our X cost creatures, because we wouldn't get any value off of hitting an X cost creature, but hitting Galloping Lizrog or hitting a Biogenic Ooze, J-Light Ranger, or anything else in the deck sounds really, really good. We've also got a little bit of counter magic here with some Essence Captures and some Disdainful Strokes. Now, I would prefer to see a couple copies of Negate, but if you do look over the main board, we do have a few copies in the main board. So that does show that he is putting a little emphasis on Negate being a powerhouse right now, but I think that I would probably like to see 3 or 4 copies in the entire deck. But 4 Essence Captures may do the job. I just think that with the creature base on this particular deck, that it feels like we might actually have most ground fights under control. We've also got some Field of Ruin. Field of Ruin is it's a great card at being able to deal with cards like Search for Escanta. Certain decks right now are not running, 3-color decks are not running one of their 3 basics. So you'll see decks with only like 2 basics in the entire deck. So if you can find their 3rd color and they're a little weak on their 3rd color, you can actually shut them off of that outright, and that can actually be really handy in certain situations. So Field of Ruin actually, it's doing a lot of work right now in the meta. Vivian Reed, she's still great, guys. She's still great. Carnage Tyrant, nothing changed. This is still a 6 mana, cannot be countered, trample, hexproof monster. What did change though are there are a lot more board wipes being run. Esper is a real deck. That being said, we've got Immortal Sun, so we can shut down some of these Planeswalker decks and things like that. So that's our Jeskai Ascendancy deck. Let's jump over, give it some gameplay, and see what happens. Or so, did I say Jeskai? I meant Simic Ascendancy. I said Jeskai, didn't I? 4 Field of Ruin plus Ashiok. Well, they still get to search for their land. Like, if you Field of Ruin them, they still get to search for their land. Well, we can Merfolk Branchwalker, or we can actually just Hadana's Climb, Grove Chamber Guardian here. That might be worth it. I'm going to keep this hand. It seems fine. Pilfering Imp. Well, there goes Hadana's Climb. Maybe I should have created a 1/1 here with Ugin Conjurant. Pay 2 life, make a 1/1. Huh? No? Was I saying? I was saying Jeskai. My bad, Rocker. I said Jeskai, but I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. I'll get rid of the Conjurant. I mean, if I've got to charge something, and I want to keep my lands right now. This means we might get to get down a Merfolk Branchwalker. Do I go for the Branchwalker? Or do I go for the Grove Chamber Guardian? I think I go for the Grove Chamber Guardian because I don't want him to like use Pilfering Imp to rip it out of my hand before I get a chance to activate it. Because I don't want him to stop that train, and just me playing it may actually make him no longer want to use it. Yeah, that didn't work, did it? Okay, well, moving on. Moving on. Gotta get rid of this preview. It keeps covering up my chat. Alright, well, there's Wild Growth Walker. I'm still not under, like, massive damage, so I'm going to get this Hadana's Climb out. It could be wrong, but because our opponent's a little bit choked here, I don't want to give another opportunity for him to, like, take this from me. I mean, pretty much any of these creatures will help us win the game. So, all right, let's Wild Growth Walker. Merfolk Branchwalker. Alright, so we got a land. Hadana's Climb puts an extra +1/1 counter here. I'm going to spread the counters out because I expect him to have a kill spell for the Wild Growth Walker. I kind of expected to see it with the Branchwalker on the stack, but he didn't do it. I still expect cast down though. Oh, Moment of Craving. Alright, well. Then maybe we go for the flip and kill. The flip and kill. I mean, we are going to gain a ton of life right here, though. I'm going to pay the life. Because we're going to go green. We're going to go Jade Light Ranger. This should be any mana, right? Yeah. Incubation Druid? Sure, we'll put that on top. Yield to Wild Growth Walker triggers. Let's go for another Jade Light. Oh, I can't. I've got to do that second main. Alright, so I need to flip this. We will swing. And now we'll go green. Play the other Jade Light. Gain some more life. Yep, we still like Incubation Druid. And yeah. Opponent's starting to get land now, though. Verosco Golgari Queen is really good in this meta. I would say that. I mean, she seems to remove most of the things in this meta. Her minus is pretty good. I mean, even if you just use her as a 4-mana kill spell, and you never really draw cards off of her, she's still viable as a 4-mana kill spell. All right, Flying Imp. So we're going to declare attacks. What is he going to do? What do you got, opponent? What do you... Omnixilus is cruel. What? I could save it, right? What if I did that? What if I saved it? Right, because it gets +4/+4. And now it's still big enough to swing through on the Pilfering Imp. Right? I mean, that seems okay. I mean, our opponent's been like trapped on cards for a moment now. I may just Galloping Lizrog next turn and just smash him. Rollisk? The card is a bomb? I don't even know what Rollisk is. I'll have to check that out. Climb just punishes lack of action hard. Yeah, it does. Like, now he has to do things or we just kill him next turn. Like, we're in a pretty good spot to be able to do some serious work to our opponent here. We need we've got 3 mana that we can just play with. Technically I can activate this and then I would have 4 mana I could play with. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, that'd be 5. And then this would produce 3. No. No, that's wrong. You play Sultai Climb and Paper and have a blast. Understood. Oh, he's still trying to kill that Jade Light Ranger. Okay, opponent. Sure. We're just gonna do it. Smash? Like, yeah, just smash him in the face, right? It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Alright, begin sideboarding. Game 2. Here we go. Rollisk requires death for his proliferate, and there's so many exile effects that it's not worth including. Understood. Understood. Rollisk Apex Hybrid, 4/5 flying, trample, enter the battlefield with 2 counters on it. Another target creature proliferate, then proliferate again. Put 2 counters on another target creature, proliferate, then proliferate again. The landfall proliferate creature is so good. Been really impressed with that card. Yeah, I haven't actually played with it much, but I think the card's pretty impressive too. Alright, so against this deck, I think the Conjurant's probably going to be like one of our weaker cards. I'm bringing in Vivian. This might not be right, but I'm bringing in Vivian and Captures. And a Carnage Tyrant. Let's do that. Let's do this. This seems fun. It'll be fun. It'll be fun. We do need a lot of blue mana to make Capture work, though. I don't necessarily like Capture in a 2-color deck, but then again, I haven't tried it much. I've been using Scatter in 2-color decks. We do have the blue, though, so let's see what happens. He's mono black. If he doesn't have like a super fast hand, we should be able to do some things. Honestly, he should have sacked that last game and started ripping our hand apart. I'll just play Simic Ascendancy next turn if we have the opportunity. Although I could Hadana's Climb adapt the Incubation Druid for the additional mana. I just don't have anything to play with it, so I'm not interested in taking that line with nothing to really reach in the end. I mean, I guess I could just use the mana to start pumping with Simic Ascendancy. And maybe that's good enough. Maybe that is good enough. Let's just get the Ascendancy down and we'll go from there. Vampire Neonate. This was really good in the standard Pauper event on Arena. This card was good. Capture's so much harder to cast. It really is. I mean, it's not like super hard to cast, but it's not like the easiest thing either. This could be dangerous. This thing's mean. Look at that art. It's not playing around. This guy gets it. Right. Alright, again, if I get Ascendancy down, or if I get this down, then there's not a lot the opponent can do about it, right? Like, he's mono black, he can't deal with enchantments after they've landed. How long do I survive is the big question, though. Vicious rumors. These rumors are vicious. Vicious. Looks like the gang is all back together. What's up, MTG Bobby Q? How you doing, buddy? How's the military life treating you? Welcome back, sir. I've had to take a little break myself while I was getting me and my family to Dallas, Texas. It's been a wild ride, but we're here and we're playing some Magic now, so you know, it is what it is. I kind of like this. We're gonna work our magic, see what happens. be a creature. It's not cool. Like, I'm worried to play Vivian. I think we're just gonna play Vivian and Vivian's gonna die. But that happens. So he could pay 2 mana to deal 2 additional damage right here, or he could pay 2 mana to deal 1 and gain 1. I mean, I think that's a bad choice. Is this worth it? Maybe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, the extra counter will be worth it, right? And we gain 2, draw, or yeah, gain 1, draw 1, right? Yeah, gain 1, draw 1. We get another Simic Ascendancy. Flip our Herdana's Climb. I'm not for sure if I like that or not. I guess technically I could have put 2 counters on it, flipped Herdana's Climb. We'll see. Although, I can't take the hit from Dreadshade this turn. I think we may just be dead to the Dreadshade. Played against a pretty nasty Boros Feather deck today. Very quick and nasty. Yeah, the Boros decks, or sorry, the Feather decks themselves are pretty mean. What's going on? Okay. Cool, man. Pump it. Pump it up. Pump it up. If I'm not mistaken, you have already declared attackers. This is going to be an oops from the opponent, right? You love that people are trying mono black in the format right now. Well, I mean, mono black's a card. All right. What can we do here? Just Vivian up. Yeah, our opponent misclicked there, and I wish this creature had flying right now. Wait a minute. Target creature you control. I was like, can I give it flying? Let's look for a land. We haven't played a land this turn. Land would be nice. It would allow us to drop the Wild Growth Walker. Evolutionary Sage. Ooh. Ooh. Evolutionary Sage might actually be worth it. I'm gonna go with a Sage instead of the land. It may be wrong, but he doesn't have Trample, so we'll give it a shot. And that'll let me save the Wild Growth Walker a little bit longer. Exile and pay 3 for any number of cards. Nope. You can have it all, buddy. It's SubSunday. Take the fun. Right? Duress. Got me. Got me. I really want to win with this Ascendancy. I really do. I have won with Ascendancy recently. I was trying it in one of the different variants of the Bolus Citadel decks, and one of those is a Ascendancy deck. I don't necessarily like it in Bolus Citadel because it requires the most horrible thing in a combo deck ever for you to go past turn. You don't want to do that in a combo deck. No, no. Once the combo starts, you're all in, right? So, yeah. Alright, we'll make him use some stuff. Bam! Getting bigger. Getting bigger again. But Vivian's still around. We've still got... Oh. Alright. Let's look at the top 4 cards of our library. Let's see what we can do here. Ooh, another ooze. Another ooze. But J-Light also, like, digs us out of this. I really like this ooze, though. Because the ooze gives me 2 bodies. So if I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I can go ooze. I have an ooze though, but double ooze? Like, don't we just win if I double ooze? We're not far off winning if I just Wild Growth Walker Evolutionary Sage and then like start putting counters on things. I'm gonna take the Biogenic Ooze. I'm gonna play Biogenic Ooze just because it'll require him to have more than one removal spell. And then I'll just pass turn. The Ooze will be pretty good with Simic Ascendancy. We'll yield to that. You're watching GTO now? Game of Thrones? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I don't ruin it. No spoilers in chat, please. No spoilers in chat, please. We've got a bunch of people that will be watching either very soon. Well, it's over now. Are you talking about the game over now that we played an ooze, or spoiler alert, everyone dies? Is this episode 6? This is episode 6, right? You got me, Devril. You got me where it hurts. Right in the hurts. Got me in the hurts. So we'll just chump. Like, this is kind of the problem with the Sage. Even though it's so deadly, the fact that it just has no evasion whatsoever kind of just doesn't apply enough pressure, right? I know, it's sad. Alright, so check this out, right? Vivian's cool. I love Vivian. But I'm about to kill her. I'm about to kill her. We're going to play the Evolutionary Sage. I mean, I guess I could save her a little bit longer. Let's do it. Let's see if we can find a Branch Walker. If I can find a Branch Walker, this made it worth it. Yes, we found a Branch Walker. That's perfect. Alright, so we're going to go Wild Growth Walker. Oh man, that doesn't work either, does it? Oh well. So we go Wild Growth Walker, land. Yep. We'll increase all of those. Those will also trigger here. I needed one more land to be able to do everything. Like, I could have ultimated Vivian right there. We're at 9 on the Simic Ascendancy. We're going to swing at Davril. Alright. And then we can just jump block with Merfolk Branchwalker. Another +1/+1 counter. This is about to go really, really bad. Eric should be king of all of Westeros. I'll get rid of the land. It's no Breaking Bad, but it's still great. Hey, man, I love some Game of Thrones, man. Although Breaking Bad was a good series, too. I mean, Walter's no joke. I don't know. There's some jokes about Walter, but whatever. When a good man has nothing to lose, what does he become? Come on, opponent. What you got? At me or at Vivian? Oh, alright, cool. I jump. Look, I jump with a creature small enough you don't even have to waste time pumping it. Ritual of Soot. Opponent, opponent, opponent. Not gonna have to hurt you. Alright, so I take 2. I'm gonna go ahead and take my emblem. We'll play the Ooze. Let's get rid of Davril. I don't want any more heartaches. And then we'll just outright kill him next turn. So let's put some counters on, right? We'll get some big boys. What you got, opponent? You got to have one of those Obnixilus's cruelties. Because our creatures have indestructible trample and vigilance. Memorial. Alright, alright. He's going to get something back. What did he get? What did he target? I got to look. Vampire. Returns Vampire Neonate. Vampire Neonate? That's the card you go get? Whatever. Next turn we shall end his life. Our creatures have trample, so. Or I could just pass, right? Do you guys want me to do that? You want me to just pass? so that we can win with a Simic Ascendancy. You guys want to go for the flavor? I mean, he's got 0 cards in hand. The chances of us losing are slim. Let's look at some cards. Ay ay ay. Good old Carnage Tyrant. Let's just take the Growth Chamber Guardian. I'm not really worried about it. Alright, I'm gonna go for it, guys. We're gonna go for the flavor win. We're gonna look at our opponent and say, hey man, you've got one turn. And if you can't do this in 1 turn, then, well, no point in swinging. Alright, here we go. Ascendancy will hit 20 this turn. I don't think he can remove it. I mean, he's black. He can't. I don't think that he can. Like, there's no spell that would remove this. Although, if he just like slaps Ugin down and removes it, I'm gonna be mad. But then again, if he slaps Ugin down and removes it, then I just swing at him with all of our oozes, and then he dies there. So, yeah, 27 counters right now. That's where we're at. Yeah, we just put 10 counters on right there. 5 oozes, each getting 2 triggers. Pretty sweet. Opponent top decks murder. Yeah, murder wouldn't do it. Our creatures are indestructible. Like we're pretty set at this point. Like I don't know what the opponent could top deck. Like it would have to be Ugin. Ugin could destroy the Simic Ascendancy, and then we would have to actually like physically kill our opponent. But again, physically killing our opponent is definitely within our wheelhouse at this point. Even with an Ugin. Like, cause I could just swing and turn this into a 22-22. But we've got 27 counters on Simic Ascendancy. All we gotta do is wait for our opponent to pass the turn. Pass the turn. Come on. Just click pass. Because that's game. Show me what you're working with. I mean, come on. We've got a Vivian emblem. Like, what do you expect was going to happen? By the way, did I hear full art of basic snowlands in Modern Horizons? That's got to be like one of the coolest things I've heard all day. Really? He's roping me? Well, he ain't going to rope me. My rope's long. I got 4 minutes longer than he does. So, anyway, that was the Simic Ascendancy deck. Whether you're just beating down with some Wild Growth Walkers and Jade Light Rangers, Merfolk Branch Walkers, whether you're doing that plan along with the Hadana's Climb and the Hydroid Caressus, hey, either one works. Our opponent made a couple mistakes there. I am sure that I made a few mistakes. I played that a little bit slower than I should have, trying to go for the awe factor, you know. So we'll see. It's the truth. Full art Snowlands. So like full art snow-covered mountains, and man, that's gonna make me want to buy. They really know how to make us buy some packs we don't want to buy, don't they? I've got to buy those. I've got to have those lands. Like, snow-covered mountains are awesome. Truth. He speaks the truth. Too bad snow-covered lands aren't standard legal, right? Yeah, but right now we've got the full arts that were from Unhinged. Or unglued, the last unset, something, unrosewald, or rosewater. Either way, yeah, we've got those. When's the next unset comes out 15 years, we'll have snow-covered borderless lands. I like the way you think there, Hefe. Showed the power of climb rather than ascendancy, you think? Yeah, and I wasn't actually using climb a lot there. I could have used climb more in that game too. I didn't have to play into a lot of those plays that I made. I didn't have to actually put those onto the board. I could have just actually been swinging, putting enough pressure on with climb that the opponent would have been like forced to deal with us. However, the opponent was running a mono black deck for one, and he was running ritual and shade. That's kind of a bit of a non-bow. So good deck construction will normally win out in those situations. So proud that I was playing the better constructed deck, right? Found Geniku's though, isn't it just great? And then of course Vivian. I brought the Vivians in out of the sideboard. I think Vivian's so powerful right now. She just got to have some room. She's got to have some room in that main board. Excuse me. All right. So next here, we've got like, what is this? Unlaundered Wenches deck. Don't know if you're there with us in chat, but this is Unlaundered Wench. Probably spelled it wrong down below, but whatever. This is a not Mardu, Rakdos Midrange deck. Now, yes, we've got some Dread Horde invasions. Matter of fact, let's get that preview panel up. Let's do this right, like a professional streamer. All right, we've got to be able to bring these cards up so the audience can see them, so we can be professional. Okay, Liliana Dread Horde. Man, this card is awesome. I originally was like, man, 6 mana, whew, way too much, but she makes zombies. She kills stuff. What more do you want out of Liliana, right? I mean, she does the things. So, yeah. And whenever a creature you control dies, you're also drawing cards. I can't do the Grease voice, but give me more, give me more, give me more, right? Loving it. Liliana, awesome right now. We've also got Eldest Reborn, which makes our opponents sacrifice creatures. Can also be a win con, giving us some of our creatures back. Heaven forbid we're able to get back something like an Arclight Phoenix, or sorry, Rekindling Phoenix after they've spent multiple cards trying to deal with it, and then we can get it back and just go through it all over again. We get back something like a Liliana, then we can do some serious work there. If we get back Angrath the Flame Chain, we can do some serious work with against their hand with it. The deck's also running some other cards that you may not see in some of the other decks. One of those being Toll of the Invasion, and this is mainly because of the amass aspect of this card, I believe, and that's because it pairs well with a couple other cards that we have. For one, Toll of the Invasion is not necessarily a card that I would play for the 3 converted mana cost to make someone discard a non-land card from their hand. That's not like the greatest thing in the world, but we've played it with Drill Bit here in the past, and even when we can't get the spectacle cost paid on Drill Bit, we're still kind of doing all right. So that's kind of where we're at on Toll of the Invasion, but it's mainly for the Amass 1. Amass 1 helps out a lot with our Dread Horde Invasion because we want to get that zombie up to a power of 6 or more so that it gets lifelink. And remember, we're going to be taking 1 point of damage every single turn no matter what, because of Dread Horde Invasion. And I think that's why Fountain of Renewal was put into the deck, because it kind of offsets or circumnavigates the fact that we're going to be taking 1 point of damage at the beginning of our upkeep, because we're also going to be gaining 1 point of damage. Now, personally, I actually don't think this is necessary. Yes, you can die to your Dread Horde Invasion, and yes, it might happen from time to time, but I personally think that a lot of times we can push through before we die with the Dread Horde Invasion. And if you do happen to gain control of the game and you get your zombies up to a power of 6 or greater, then they've got lifelink and you're not really worried about much anyway. the deck's also got, you know, one copy of Chandra, which Chandra's pretty good in the red decks, but she's also really good anywhere else that you could use the additional card advantage, and that's exactly what she is. She's card advantage that makes it really hard for you to kill her. So even if they're like putting a lot of work in to maybe attack your Chandra or something, they're still going to take some damage back, and to that effect, Chandra is really, really great. And there is a point where at some point they have to go, I have to deal with that Chandra. If I don't deal with the Chandra, then Chandra is going to just absolutely murder me, and that's kind of what we're hoping for, right? Along with the mass part of things, we've also got widespread brutality. Widespread brutality impressed me a lot when we were doing the streamer event with the amass deck. I think it was tier 1 Jank's deck that we were playing around with, but the amass deck was actually really, really powerful, and widespread brutality was a big part of that. There's a lot of aggressive decks in the format right now, so that's a lot of creatures. And if you're using Dreadhorde Invasion and you're putting down these armies, and that army's getting bigger and bigger and bigger, widespread brutality is going to do a lot of damage to each other non-army creature. So amass 2, then it just deals damage equal to its power to each non-army creature. Doesn't receive any damage back, so that's pretty sweet. Also, a singleton copy of Angrath's Rampage here in the main, along with some Davriel, Shadow Rogue, or Rogue Shadow Mage, and a couple copies of Theater of Horrors. Now, I am going to say that I think we've got a lot of cards in the main here that may not be like this. This kind of feels more of a control deck than it is mid-range. Yes, we do have some mid-range elements, but there's technically only 3 creatures in the whole deck. So I don't know how I feel about like saying this is a mid-range deck. So whatever. It's got 3 creatures in it. It feels more like control to me, but it is what it is. Theater of Horrors for a little bit of draw. We've got Bedevil. This can destroy artifacts. That is relevant, especially against cards like instant speed, artifact destruction, main board, against Bolus's Citadel, things like that. And then the last card in the main board that I haven't spoke about, other than Vraska's Contempt, is Carnival to Carnage. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's I do want to point out that we've got Karn's Bastion here, which will give us Proliferate. I don't know if I really like Proliferate in this deck either, because we're actually only putting counters on either a Liliana Dreadhorde General, or we're putting counters on a Chandra or a Davriel. So I don't know if I want to give up a spot in my mana base just for Proliferate, but I do like Karn's Bastion. I just don't know if this is the place I like it. Mobilized District, also another really, really good card. I'm really, really liking this particular man land. If you don't have your sets, get them now. This card's not going down while it's still in Standard. So it's just how good manlands work. And this is the best manland we got. And with all the Planeswalkers, it's pretty good. I have activated it for free quite a few times recently. So that's the deck. Let's jump back over to see chat, see what chat's doing, how they're doing. Did they make it without me? I'm sure they did. Ramping Lily might be worth it, worth the spot. Okay. So just upticking Lily. I mean, you think it may actually be worth it in case by case. Is that really the game plan of this deck, though? I don't know. I didn't talk about the sideboard. It's pretty straightforward. We do have a Cry of the Carnarium I missed in the main board, but in the sideboard, we've got the rest of the Cry of the Carnarium, some Ritual of Soots, Moment of Craving, Duress, and Cult Guildmage. Target player discards a card, activate this ability only anytime you can activate a sorcery, or deals 1 damage to target opponent or planeswalker. So, yeah. You have 2 districts in your trade fodder. It will be trade fodder for you. Just not interested in the card. Mutavault was a good card. I mean, I get this ain't no Mutavault, right? But it's 3/3 with vigilance, man. Like, it's a 3/3 with vigilance. That's pretty good. Deck is really mana hungry. Might be better to run colored lands. We'll find out. Let's go play it. Personally, just by looking at the construction of the deck, I think we got too many cards that don't stick to like a main plan. Like the plan seems to be that we're amassing. While amassing, we're trying to rip our opponent's hand apart and kill creatures, I guess. So, I mean, it's a typical red-black deck, you know, Chaos Mage. Bastion also buffs amass tokens. Right. There's always only one amass token, though, right? So, I mean, yeah. I mean, that's a thing. That is a thing. We get Planeswalkers and amass tokens, so, I mean, we do have some stuff in it. I don't know if we're in the meta to have like enough time off to just pay 4 mana to 5 mana technically to put a +1/+1 counter on something. I don't know. We want to do all the things. I like it, Jizza. All the things, man. Let's do all the things. It's kind of what your deck was doing, right? It's just all the things. I can't believe we come back from that Chain Whirler kill, man. Oh my goodness. When he Chain Whirlered and he got rid of my Sai, I was like, oh, well, I've just lost that game. But I didn't scoop, so like we came back on that. You're currently happy with mono green. So what version of mono green are you playing there, Dragon Lord? Are you playing like the mono green just ramp into big stuff, the mono green ramp into Nissa, into Karns, into like that sort of thing? Like people are calling it Tron, but I have a hard time with that. So what version of mono green are you playing around with right now, Dragon Lord? All right, so we got a couple lands here. We got some things. We can get our Dreadhorde Invasion down. This Blast Zone is going to make, you know, our Bedevil a little bit weak, but we've got cards. I'm going to keep. We'll go for the Mountain into the Dragon Skull Summon into the Dreadhorde Invasion and just kind of go from there. You think the deck needs more amass, honor the God Pharaoh for more draw, and the new Angrath over the Chandra for a start. See, I actually like that. I like the new Angrath. The new Angrath seems really good. Let's do it. Give me a swamp off the top. Swamp off the top. I'll settle for a Dragon Skull Summit. It ain't gonna happen though, is it? Oh, Tiffery. Alright, Tiffery. I'll settle for a Blood Crib. I've got to get rid of this, guys. We can deal with the Teferi later, but for now, we got to deal with this. I mean, maybe that's wrong. Oh. Oh, come on. So what do you take, opponent? What do you take? Oh, this is useless. He takes our Phoenix. Of course he takes our Phoenix. That's what any good, smart, human person would do. Try hard refresh. What? Maybe less cowbell. What? Less cowbell? I don't know. I don't know about less cowbell. I can put a charge counter on this. Actually, I could just amass one, right? Like, rip a card out of his hand and amass one. What does he have? So this will let him amass 4. And he can play it next turn. Still don't want him to have that thief. Alright, I think we're outclassed here. Yeah, I needed that spell to be like a little bit cheaper so I could do something else. Like right now we're stuck with cards that aren't really going to impact the board the turn they come down. Don't get me wrong, Dreadhorde Invasion is a great card. Theater of Horrors, another card that I really like. Eldest Reborn, also another card that I really like, but they're definitely situational cards. Yeah, I kind of figured that was happening. Oh, Lincoln, my man, my main man. Although we've got Cry of the Carnarium, we've got a ton of cards in the sideboard that could really mess our opponent up here. So, let's go with. I think I'm just dead, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Lincoln! Dude! Dude, it ain't even worth it. One moment, guys. One moment. Hey, look, we won. How about that? That's right. How about that? Yep. We'll play another. Hey, we won. Feels like 2 different decks mashed together. It does. It does. Lincoln wasn't that happy with that construction. Maybe. Hey, you gonna talk to these guys? Yeah. Yeah? Well, hop up here and say hi to them. Hey? Hey? You see yourself? Is that you? Is it you? Yeah, he wave. Say hey. Hey. You're waving over there. That's... You're waving at you. The camera's there. That's the camera. Yeah, camera. Yeah, right there. Alright, I'll keep this hand. Alright, buddy. I'm gonna let you down, alright? You gonna sit here? Yeah? Okay. Miss Cloak Herald, we're dead. Mono blue. Hey, Lincoln straight up won that last game for us, right? I'll pay the life. I feel that against mono blue, I'm going to need to take every advantage, every mana advantage I'm going to get. So... Are you copying me? Yeah. Okay. Later, Dragon Lord. Take care, man. Did you hit your knuckle? Why'd you do that for? That desk is hard, buddy. That's made of wood. Brush it off. You'll be alright. Yeah, Daddy don't kiss boo-boos and make them better. He says brush it off. Roll around a little bit. You'll be alright. Rub some dirt on it. I mean, no turn 2. What are you doing, buddy? You playing with the calendar? So we don't have a lot going on right now. Not a lot we can do. Our opponent's tapping out. I thought he was mono blue, but apparently he's not. Yep. Daddy, that's my name.
You're my daddy.
Oh yeah, I'm your daddy. Okay. Well, then who's that? Is Daverill? Are you calling Daverill? Or are you calling Dak Faden? Man, I feel so bad. My picture's been Dak Faden for quite some time now. Oh man, Lincoln, I didn't make black. I didn't make black mana, Lincoln. I gotta make black mana. Yeah. All right. So we're just gonna make our opponent start discarding cards. But yeah, Dak Faden died. Like it's gonna break my heart. What is the opponent playing? I don't know. It's probably some Tezzeret deck, something like that. Artifacts. Artifacts matter. He threw a duress away. I'm about to kill Dak Faden so hard though. Or not Dak Faden, but Daverill. Whoa! Why you got me muted, man? Don't mute me. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. You got the hiccups? Yeah. You know what you're supposed to do for hiccups, right? Hey, we'll see if we can do that before the stream's over. Scare the bejesus out of this little fart. Don't mute me! Quit! Hey, and we've won another one. You gonna get your... Stop it! I'll thump your knuckles. Alright. I don't know if I'm going to be able to talk, guys. Like, he keeps muting me. Quit! Quit! Alright, I'm going to send you to your mom. So say bye to the stream. Say goodnight. Look at stream. Look at stream. Say goodnight. Say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Alright, so let's see if we can sideboard this and defeat this... What is this deck? Artifacts, mono blue, Demir. I'll take some Moment of Cravings over Fountain of Renewal. I'm not excited about the Toll of Invasion. I do like Duress better though. And Cast Down's probably still going to be good. Cry the Carnarium. Cry the Carnarium's probably decent. I'm actually just going to peel back on the horrors and bring in some rituals and one extra cry. As far as that may just be too many board wipes, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, we'll roll with it like that. I would like to see more amass in the deck, but we'll go with that. Let me lock this door. I'll be back. What? Our opponent scooped. I wasn't going that long. I wasn't. It was literally like 5 seconds. All right. Is this the same person? All right. I'll give this deck one more shot. and then we're going to call it. On laundered wench, if you're watching this, I hope I haven't been too harsh on your deck, but it doesn't look like it's very focused. And if you would like some help with trying to focus the deck for like you know, competitive Magic or something like that, just, you know, put on your Reddit post or something. You know, hey, like, which way would you guys take this? If you could give us like some information or something on like how you want to take the deck. Like, do you want to take the deck you know, in a certain direction? You want to go more for the planeswalkers with the proliferate and that sort of thing? Are you more about wanting to be the control, you know, the discard type thing? He does get to get a planeswalker. Oh no, it's artifact or a creature. Okay, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. An encore Albion stream? Man, I haven't been on Albion in like 3 weeks. If I did an Albion stream, it would be like mobilized district, Dreadhorde invasion. If I did an Albion stream, it would be one of those streams where like I was sitting around like talking to you guys about the game and gathering. I literally haven't been able to do much online at all in the past few weeks. Just getting everything set up, getting here, moving is a pain. So, you know, that sort of thing. I'll go with this blast zone, and then we'll just see if we can get us another amass out. Does he counter this? Sure. I mean, I don't like that he spent 1 mana to deal with my 3 mana spell, but eh. How do we like Dallas? So I like being back in the city where there's like convenience and civilization, because there was none of that in Mississippi. Sure, I'll pay the life. And I'm going to cast Carnage here. Like, so now he has to counter this. Negate. Perfect. Definitely want to get those out of hand before we get to our Liliana. Although, he knows we have Liliana and has to play around it. But at some point he has to deal with the zombie army here. Which, this could be that point. Nope. That's treasure map. See, this works for me. Let's go ahead and get into combat. We'll swing for 3. There's a good chance that like this is the point where if he has kill spells, he's going to start trying to use them. Although, yeah, here he's going for the treasure map, so that means that we can safely get down Davriel here, which I will do. And then we can make him discard another card, and then play our Blood Crypt in tapped. And I guess technically proper sequencing would have been immediately after playing Davriel to go ahead and uptick Davriel before I played the Blood Crypt, but Phylactery Lich. Good old Phylactery Lich. Alright. Well, that may be slightly difficult to deal with, maybe. But then again, maybe not. Because I'm going to make him discard a card. And then we're going to be mean. Each opponent sacrifices, or each player sacrifices 2 creatures. I sack one, you sack one, we both sack one. We're all happy. My creature died. I gained a life. Or gained a card. Yeah, I'm good with this. You freaking love Lily. Yeah, she's really good, man. We've got... Yeah, so, Theater of Horrors looks like it doesn't belong in this deck, right? That's another reason I really wanted to play another game with this deck, was because this is the one deck of tonight that we didn't all, like all of chat and myself, we didn't all feel like, man, yeah, this one's going to be great. So this is the one we need to give the extra TLC to, right? Let's make Zambies. Zambies. And that's going to be game. Alright, game 2. Let's try it without Theater of Horrors, right? Like, I'm sure there's some worlds where Theater of Horrors is like a great card. I also don't think Fountain of Renewal is necessary. Like, I don't. Yes, I get it. Like, we're taking some cards, but that's kind of like milling yourself, right? Like the old Liliana that would mill 2 and then you could bring something back, and people are like, well, what if I mill the one of I've got? Well, then it's gone that game. What if it was the bottom card of your library and you never drew it anyway? Like, some games you just don't see cards. So I feel that the Fountain of Renewal is kind of like that argument. You know, some games you just lose some life, and that's the price that I'm willing to pay when I'm going to play my Bitter Blossoms and such. So you don't run Fountain in a mass. Yeah, I don't think Fountain belongs here. I am going to bring in these 4 duress again because they seem like a thing. The opponent did have some creatures there though, right? Ritual of Soot won't really deal with those. I'm just going to bring in a couple Guild Mages and go from there. You think the uncommon Angrath would be good here? I do too. I think the amass on him is actually just really good. What do? You just amass 2? Is that his? You just tick mass 2? This could be a hand. We get a red source. All right. We know it's the same guy who was playing, like, you know, he's mulliganing to 5 cards. He's mulliganing to 4 cards. He kept his hand, 4-card hand. Power Slav. This may not work for you, bro. 2 more widespread brutality is important. It's never dead, even if it just amasses 2. Seems like a fair statement there. Well, does he have his counterspell? Can he stop our Dread Horde invasion? All right. Sorry about your luck there, blue black. We're probably going to be making some dudes. Right? I mean, against control deck versus control deck, I would happily spend 4 mana to make a 2/2. Especially if that same 2/2 came with, like, abilities versus other decks. Yeah, I'd be all over that. So, seems like if we're going to amass, we should run 4 brutality and 4 invasion. That's possible. And if Duress had Scry attached to it, it'd be so good. I mean, it's already a good card, but he just 3 mana kunkled us. Sorry, canceled us. We've been kunkled. It's better than being cuckolded, right? Alright. Moving on. Mobilized district. Well, we've got 3 mana now. Dun dun. Dun dun. Dun 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 dun. So next turn we can actually cry the Carnarium and be okay. I could have dab rolled there. I could have. I know I could have. A blast zone. Maybe I will dab roll here. Or maybe I cry the Carnarium. I'll cry the Carnarium and then we'll dab roll next turn. Do you have a counter? Is this like a devious cover-up? No, wait. You've got a moment of craving and you want to take my zombie down with it. What do you got? What do you got, opponent? I'm dying to know. You haven't played with all the cards much. You think 4 of to hit on a turn 2 and extra to get large lifelink? Okay. He countered it. He countered our spell. That's 2 Kunkles in a row. It's I don't know, it's my wife's thing. Like, at one of the jobs she worked, like in IT, they just always called canceling something Kunkle it, and that's it. Kind of stuck. So yeah. You got another counter, dude? Oh my goodness! What a hand! What a hand! All right. Well, the plan was to dab roll, make him discard his last card, and then go from there, but whatever. Lazotep plating? Have you been playing much with Lazotep plating? Like, is it good? Like, you're saying it's just as good as this other card in your opinion, but... like... I mean, is it dive down good? Well, there went our Chandra. We ain't got no red mana anyway. What did we get? Alright, so the opponent said drawing dead. Buddy, good games. So I told him you too, man, and that's where he's gonna leave it. All right, so what do we got? Like, do we got any advice to give on this deck? Man, I would start with throwing my Theater of Horrors in the sideboard. I'd get rid of these Fountain of Renewals altogether. And then seems like some people are saying just more amass cards, right? I don't think that you need the Cult Guildmage or the Theater of Horrors, really. Like, I get that the Cult Guildmage is one of those cards that says, hey, look, I help you discard cards, and I help you ping things so that you can get cards back with Theater of Horrors. But I think once you make the decision to actually back off of Theater of Horrors, then you're no longer going to be so worried about trying to activate Spectacle and get those additional cards and things like that. That you're going to have more room to play around. You're going to have a little bit more flexibility. A lot of people are saying that the new Angrath would be a good addition for the deck. So I'll pull that up and we'll take a look at it really quick. The new 4-mana Angrath says creatures you control have menace. Is that right? I thought it was zombies you control have menace. Anyway, creatures you control have menace, and you just -2 him to amass 2. This seems like it would actually be a pretty good card. So, couple Angrath may actually fit the bill here. Angraph's Rampage is a good card. Like you were running this in the main board already. I really like it. I think it's good. I also think Davriel's okay. Davriel is more than good to leave in the deck, especially for your 3 mana removal. As far as Toll of the Invasion, I don't know if I really like this or not. I don't know where I would really want to go with Toll of Invasion. 3 mana seems like it's an awful lot, especially when you could do a lot more with 3 mana than just Thoughtseize somebody. But you know, Thoughtseize is still good, and 3 mana is about the price of you know, any non-land card. So you know, that's not horrible. So I'm not just going to say like rip this card out of the deck, but I definitely think that, you know, as you're playing the deck, you should probably be looking for some type of replacement or something for this. But I do like the fact that you're going for the discard plan. But I just think that going for the discard plan, along with going with the amass plan, along with going for, you know, the control plan and the spectacle plan and all of that, like, we've got a little too much going on. The deck's just really busy, making it both mana hungry and kind of clunky. So decide out of all of those different strategies, you know, which one you really care about doing the most, and then just kind of concentrate and focus your strategy, and I think you'll be all right. So Jank, for once we agree. No way. Tier 1. You think Davriel doesn't belong here? What? Fair enough. I think that there's a lot of things going on with this deck, and the more that I want to start pulling one card out, the more that makes me want to pull a different card out, and then some other things. So without just, you know, completely reconstructing the deck and maybe going in the original authors, like in a direction that person wouldn't want to play at all, I'm just going to kind of leave it with where we're at. So we've all kind of made some statements about a lot of different cards. Don't take too much on what I've put into it, and don't take too much on what everyone else has said. Just do think about, though, what you want to play. Pick the strategy that you want to play. And unfortunately, I'm going to tell you that picking all of those strategies and putting them into the same deck might not work really well for you. So just think about that. But if you do focus your deck on one particular strategy, you'll usually do a lot better. Not all strategies are equal, so that's a thing. Yeah, I definitely like the concept of the deck. So guys, don't forget to go over to, you know, the Reddit, post your decks. We're back in action. There should, like, alright, so my internet service provider Spectrum has been out for like a day and a half. We went like 27 hours without internet. Like, this was all yesterday. So apparently that happens here in Dallas. I don't like it. There ain't a lot I can do about it. So barring that happening, we're back. We're streaming. This week I start current devs decks, and then we'll start retroactively playing. Is that the right word? Like going back and playing the other ones. So we'll go back and play the other ones he's come out with this season. So maybe we'll just make a day of it or something like that, and just, you know, play a whole bunch of devs decks and knock 3 or 4 of them a day out or something like that. But that's the plans for now, is to jump into some devs decks. I do have some deck techs coming. Like I said, you guys can probably see where I've been working on all the different Bolus's Citadel decks. I think the Bolus's Citadel deck is probably one of the sweetest combo decks we've had access to in quite some time. So yeah, I live in Dallas, eh? There's a COD tuber, technically ex-COD tuber, who lives there, named Driftor. Okay, like Call of Duty tuber. Gotcha. Unlaundered wench. You do you, dog. Do all the things, right? Anyway, so I've got some deck techs and stuff like that coming up. Deck techs are going to be my new little toy that I'm going to play around with, like editing and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm going to try to learn some special effects. Maybe we can have some lightning bolts shooting from my fingers or something like that. You know, like magic card. We'll see. I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna have to do that for my magic. Will have to have my own personal sound effects, right? Yeah, we'll do that. It'll be a lot of fun though. So I hope you guys enjoy what we've got coming up. That's all we've got for tonight, though. Thank everyone for coming out. Don't forget to check out my sponsors, ManaTraders. If you want to play on Magic Online, check the link in the description box for a way to save 15% on your first 3 months. If you want to help the channel out, a lot of ways you can do that, but the best one is to hit that like button, that subscribe button, the bell for notifications, so you know that when I'm going live or when I post a video. And if you really, really want to help the channel out, you can hit that join button right here on YouTube Gaming, or you can jump down into the description box, join us over on Patreon. That's about it, guys. Yeah, it felt like a good show, man. I had a lot of fun. Thank you guys for posting your decks. As always, stay awesome. I'm out.